our country has joined with others in the task of achieving peace. We know now that this is not an easy task or a short one, but we are determined to see it through. Both of our great political parties are committed to working together, and I am sure they will continue to work together to achieve this end. We are prepared to devote our energy and our resources to this task because we know that our own security and the future of mankind are at stake. And right here, I want to say that no one appreciates more than I the bipartisan cooperation in foreign affairs which has been enjoyed by this administration.
We are back with a special hour of Morning Joe. And Joe, you listened to that speech right there. That was the State of the Union address in 1950 delivered by President Truman. Bipartisanship. We're starting now during this Biden transition to hear echoes of that, a return to some modicum of bipartisanship. Is it naive to think that we can achieve some of that with Joe Biden and his relationships in the Senate?
No, I don't think it's naive at all. And for those that think it's impossible to strike a bipartisan coalition, go back to where Harry Truman found himself in 1947 when I write about Dean Acheson receiving the 2 notes from the British ambassador informing the United States they could no longer defend Greece or Turkey against Soviet aggression. If the United States didn't get, not only in those 2 countries, but also in stemming the tide of communism across all of Europe, that freedom was at risk, Western civilization was at risk. Well, when Truman got those notes in early 1947, the Republican Party had just taken control back of the United States Senate and the House of Representatives for the first time since Herbert Hoover was routed by FDR. And I don't think anybody that's read history of FDR's administration would consider FDR to be especially gracious to the Republican minority. And so they were chafing under FDR and were ready to show some independence. The last thing they wanted to do was help another Democratic president, especially in the field of foreign policy. And yet, David Ignatius, Truman immediately started talking to Arthur Vandenberg. He immediately started talking to Republicans. As Walter Isaacson mentioned earlier this week, people in the Truman administration at the end of the day would get in their cars late at night. They would drive over to the chairman of foreign relations townhouse in Washington, and they would talk to Vandenberg and update him with what had been moving on in the day. And because he built that relationship, Vandenberg proved to be a crucial bridge between Harry Truman and the rest of the Republican Party. And this was a Republican Party that had been isolationist, had told Woodrow Wilson just flat out, no, we're not going to be engaged in Europe and the rest of the world in the League of Nations after World War I. But Truman, being a creature of the United States Senate, like Joe Biden being a creature of the United States Senate, knew that, in the words of Bismarck, that politics was the art of the possible, the art of the attainable, the art, and I love this, of the next best thing. And that's something that Joe Biden understands as much as anybody in Washington, D.C.